And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Aesop Grim here, and this is the continuation of my blind playthrough of RDR2 in 2025. This is your Monday episode. We are going to be working our way towards this yellow quest right here with Sadie Andrews. But first, it's about 12:30 in the afternoon. And we're going to wait until evening, and we're going to knock out, or try to knock out, a quest from the governor down here that only becomes available in the evening times, because I'm a little bit concerned or leery that once we complete this quest, it'll push us to a new chapter. It might not. I just noticed that it's kind of the last thing on the map, so out of an abundance of caution, which means that we're going to, I don't know, maybe do some hunting and see if we can deliver some more meat over here to Ansburg. I suppose actually what we'll do is we'll travel to Ansburg, that area, because maybe time catches up with us, and on our way we notice we don't have time and we need to hook south to Saint Denis. So that's the plan. This is Sunday, so happy Father's Day to those of you who celebrate. Not everybody's got a dad here on Earth, but I would like to say that everybody has a dad upstairs in heaven, our Heavenly Father. And because it's Sunday, I want to give honor, praise, and glory to God Almighty, who I absolutely believe is directly involved in what is happening, not only here in America, but in a number of nations abroad, where populations are discovering that we've been lied to. We've been sold a false bill of goods by a bunch of crooks calling themselves politicians, partnering with wealthy people like Klaus Schwab and George Soros. Yesterday, I'm gonna beat my chest a little bit here. Not that it was all that hard to call, but what did I tell you guys? In our last video on Friday, I said they were going to have to run these No Kings protests on Saturday because they'd already spent the money, basically. They already put things in place, but that Trump broke this movement in Los Angeles. That's what I thought was going to happen. I wasn't sure. I was waiting to find out. I was curious. I was interested. But I kind of felt like Trump beat them badly on their home turf with their most favorable conditions. And that Saturday stood a chance that they would have called it off if they could. That's how bad I think they got beat. But they couldn't because money had already been spent, resources put in place, plans made a while back, probably years ago, for just such a time as this, so to speak. And come Saturday, what did we see? We saw abysmally low turnout at a number of places. And in a lot of occasions, we saw full-on cancellations, and they didn't even give the excuse of it's not safe that I thought they would. They straight up said lack of interest. Governors all around the nation stood up prior to Saturday and gave their warnings. You go FAFO. And they unleashed they unshackled things for in a number of these states, or like Oklahoma and Florida, I know for sure. Oklahoma because they already had a law in place, and Florida because they put one in place, saying that if you got stopped by a protest in the middle of the road and you felt like you were in danger, you were within your rights to go ahead and run them over. That's huge, right? So the national population went against this, and the representatives acted appropriately. I think there were lots of phone calls made. I think that governors didn't even need that phone call. They looked at what happened in LA and said that ain't happening here. Guys, we saw a return of law and order. Yeah. It's just that the same thing happened in 2016 when Trump came into office. A return of law and order. Mayor Adams up in New York City who was a lefty, but has since left them because they straight up attacked him. They tried to get him thrown out of office. He's now an independent. He told New York City police to go out there and basically be your old selves. Anybody who commits a crime, you arrest them. No special rules. No woke rules. Right? I don't have his exact words. This is just, that's what it looks like. It looks like, I know that he addressed them and he told them to arrest criminals. And this is what it looks like the context of that was because NYC police weren't messing around, man. I saw a video of a terrorist, that's what I'm calling him now, domestic terrorist, a would-be protester who wants to get out there and sow chaos. It get bodily thrown through the air by a cop that looked like he was jacked up like Hulk Hogan. Like, that ain't the dude you really want to be threatening whenever you're a soy boy with noodle arms.
I'll give you a good price.
So it was really just a fantastic outcome for us. Uh-oh. Really great outcome for us. Good precedent set, I think. And the biggest news of the day. Well, let me finish up here. Those people who did show up and tried to start shenanigans with the police, I think they got put down pretty abruptly. I saw a bunch of videos of these protesters getting shot in the nuts with beanbags, getting pelted with rubber bullets, paint guns, arrested very rapidly, kettled, tactics run on them to surround them and put everybody under arrest. Now, as I said before on Friday, be prepared for these people to be arrested and immediately let go. They have excellent legal representation. But even beyond that, I don't think it's necessary to fill our jails up with this. What it's necessary to do is to show that there are consequences for these kinds of actions, and you are playing with fire. And look, that precedent got set during the week in LA. And what was the result? On Saturday, you had a bunch of no-shows and cancellations. The ones who did decide to get rowdy paid some degree of price for that immediately. There was not any kind of leniency like what we've seen in the past. This was very buttoned down. In Austin, they just had them marching around in a big circle. That was funny. It's more that wasn't really punitive so much as it's just how Austin works. Austin is a big tourist city, and it's a small city compared to metropolises like Chicago and New York. So it's just routine that a lot of streets get shut down, and you got to make way for commerce and for patrons to attend these places and stuff like that. And it's the weekend, it's Father's Day weekend and Flag Day and the Army's birthday. So Austin was not going to be a great place to protest to begin with. Just because of the logistics of the situation, right? So I don't want to paint a false picture that Austin cracked down or anything. That's not the case, not as far as I know. But it was pretty much an abysmal failure anywhere you went, and an arrest is an arrest. It has a chilling effect. A lot of these people are showing up because, I tell you what, whenever you're in the boxing ring, it's easy to swing punches on an opponent that has both hands tied behind their back. But once you start getting flack back, it's not so hard to unleash your offense. You get nervous. And in a real fight, what you have to know how to do is how to hit while being hit. You got to be able to take that risk to land your own punches. And if you don't know how to do that, if you haven't practiced it, if you haven't trained it, 10 times out of 10, what are you going to do? You're going to turtle. You're going to hide, you're going to duck and cover, and the other guy is going to be able to unleash hell without fear of consequence. And I think that's what happened. Most of these people that show up at these things, it's because it's trendy.
Easy.
It's to get a girl's phone number. It's things like that, you know? And they don't know really how to act, most of them, whenever all that comes flying right back in their face. And they got to pay real prices, you know, or come darn close to it and start to see like what could be in their future if they could keep playing around in the devil's playground. Let's go ahead and feed the horse too.
Yeah, you're a strong one.
And so you get your hardcore people and your people that are being paid to go ahead and show up because they're ready to pay that price already. These are the ideologues and the people that are making a paycheck. That's part of the fine print. They know what they're doing. They're like the opposite end of me, where I went to Iraq knowing that I could die and haven't thought about it and understanding I'm not really, you know, directly fighting for American citizens here. Am I willing to die for the sake of an Iraqi child? I had to think about that and I had to come up with my own answer to it. And then by the time I got there, I knew what I was about and I was ready to pay whatever price, right? That's what the people that are on the left that are showing up at these things that are not being paid, they've already done that math. And so they're committed, but there are precious few of them.
Yeah.
And then the people receiving a paycheck, that's part of the contract. So they already accepted also, but again, precious few. All of the hanger-ons that are there in order to try and feel some sort of significance in their life or to impress somebody or something along the, or they've kind of bought into the propaganda. This happens to, I think, to a lot of girls. Because I think more than most people, women have really been socially engineered and picked apart as far as how to be gamed, how to be played. This is a lot like how it works in nightclubs with players. There are people that just understand really well how women tick, and then they exploit them on all that. And they get their mama bear and their nurturing instincts going on a false narrative, and then they unleash them in a highly emotional and volatile state of mind, you know. But those people are starting to count the cost, you know, the guys and the girls. So very good outcome and precedent set for us. We'll see how things go moving forward. There's still going to be resistance, but, you know, we've turned U.S. aid off. That got through the courts now. It's a done deal. Trump can fire the people that he wants. It's been determined by SCOTUS that is solely the executive's authority. Not like it hasn't been done before. Go back to Obama and see how much he cut. Right? But whenever it's Trump, whenever it's somebody that's working against the machine, these are the tactics they run. Yeah. They're trying to delay. Well, shoot, we're not even half a year in. So congrats on your failure. All that stuff is getting dealt with rather quickly. And so these people, they're going to lose their money that to fund the ops that they've been running. They really will have to depend on the Soroses of the world to use their own money. And surprise, Soros has been doing a lot of stuff through taxpayer dollars. He doesn't really spend his own money, so we'll find out if he's willing to do that. You know, whenever I say Soros, I don't really just mean George Soros. I mean him and his ilk. So the Klaus Schwabs, who, by the way, stood down a while ago, I think he might be sick. He kind of got run out of his own thing. They turned against him. It was woke stuff. They were accusing him of sexual assault and stuff like that. These people's plans all turn around. The old revolutionaries get eaten by the new revolutionary. That's like a constant just... That's how it's always been. So that hippie generation is out there protesting. And the younger people hate them. The younger people on their own side hate them. So that's kind of how it goes. So let me go ahead and wrap that up because I feel like I can just sort of daisy chain in my brain. But that's the wrap up there. I think that we set a really good precedent. I think that the week in LA really really stood a lot of this nonsense down, and No King's Day was an abysmal failure for the most part. We'll see what they throw at us down the road, because there will be other stuff, there will be other plans, and we'll find out how that unfolds. Israel, Iran, I don't really have an update on. I'm not privy to any news on that. And it's the weekend. I don't typically look for a lot of news on the weekend. So I'm a little bit low on info there. My impression is that Israel's got the upper hand easily. I'll tell you this. This is what I'm predicting. Israel has the Iron Dome. Okay? People out there are pointing to Iran missiles getting through despite that. Well, nobody ever said the Iron Dome was completely fail-safe. When you measure something like this, you want to measure it in its relevancy, like relevant or relative to what was there before. And the fact of the matter is that Iran launched a huge salvo in reprisal to Israel, and a scant few got through, caused big damage in some instances, but Israel's been prepared for that. Israel was paying that price before the Iron Dome existed. Now the Iron Dome is protecting them from like 90% of that, right? And so what I think is going to happen is that Israel's going to continue to use the Iron Dome, and they will continue to buy ammunition from the United States, who will continue to supply it for defense purposes. Right, we're not getting involved on the offensive side. That's between Israel and Iran, but we are helping Israel to defend itself.
Yep.
When it comes to things like, I mean, I think we probably have contracts in place. Also, it's like a contractual obligation. That's what I'm guessing. But anyway, the point being, in my prediction, Israel will continue to sit behind the Iron Dome and replenish its munitions by buying ammo from the U.S. Iran, meanwhile, will exhaust its munitions, and I don't think they have anybody that they can buy from. Maybe it will be Russia or China, but I kind of feel like both Russia and China are in precarious positions where they don't really necessarily want to rock the boat right now. Trump and Putin are talking together. They actually have a decent relationship, and they're talking quite a bit about the Iran-Israel conflict. So I have doubts that Iran can replenish those munitions. I think they'll run through their stock. And then what are they going to do? On top of that, Iran's own population, their government, the Ayatollah Khomeini government, is extremely unpopular with significant amounts of the population. And so they've got a domestic front problem that's going to lead to not a lot of tolerance for a long war, is what I think. I think that's how that'll translate, or maybe even any war at all. As far as these people are concerned, this is an opportunity, which leads to the third part. It's because there's so much unrest in there that Israel has significantly infiltrated and has Mossad agents placed within the Iranian government at a huge level. Kind of an unprecedented level, and that's why Israel is able to send highly specifically targeted munitions that blow through the bedroom doors of apartments that are in high rises, don't do any damage at all to the rest of the apartment, much less the building, and just knock out the target. They are decapitating Iran's leadership, and I just recently heard they're not taking assassination of Iran's leader off the board. They're not the United States. They don't have the same rules that the U.S. does. So I think all of this leads to a scenario that, at least right now, is heavily in Israel's favor. I think that Israel can win just simply in a war of attrition, but because of the infiltration that they can... Oh, you know what? We probably should have gone to Saint Denis. It's nighttime. Yeah, let's go ahead and change. Oh, you know, I expected to see that pop up. Maybe it'll pop up later. What time is it? 8:27. I was hoping I would see it by now. And so I think Israel can actually win just head-to-head because of that infiltration. It handcuffs Iran pretty badly. Or I'm guessing it does. You know, we'll see. Again, you know, Iran's not the U.S. either. Iran has an authoritarian government. They can crack down on stuff that the U.S. would have a problem with. So I always have to keep that in mind. You're dealing with other cultures and different government types. It plays out differently. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, on to the biggest news of the weekend, though. The biggest thing that happened during No King's Day was a jaw dropper. A Tim Walz appointed Democrat high-level government employee. I can't remember what his job was, but he's in a high-level position. He was appointed by Tim Walz, and he straight up executed 2 Minnesota lawmakers on Saturday. I guess he's the head of a security corporation too, so he got the uniform and like a plastic face, like skin tight face covering to kind of try to mask his face, I guess, from video recognition or something. It didn't work, obviously. But he dressed up as a police officer and had a squad car, like an SUV, that was that looked just like the cops. And he showed up at this lady lawmaker's house, executed her and her husband. It was because she voted against, she was the deciding vote. And you should see the video of her talking. She's scared to death. She's talking about how she tried very hard to get a deal done, but it wasn't there. And she voted against, or for, stripping illegal aliens of free health care. What's going on here? Okay, leave that alone. He's investigating a dead body. Yeah. He executed her for that. She was the deciding vote, and the left decided that's you have betrayed us, and now you get a traitor's death. They are violent. This is the party of hate. I'm telling you, the mask is slipping. They have always been this, guys. They just hid it behind gay pride and flowers for peace. But they have always been authoritarian. They've been deceitful and manipulative. They've been coercive, and they've been violent. And people are starting to recognize that. He apparently, we found out he had a list of 70 plus people. He went to a Minnesota senator's house and I think wounded that guy. But the cops, there was one particular cop that had a hunch after investigating the first crime scene of what this guy was on about and where he was headed. Kind of had a hunch about his roadmap, and he got police out there quick, and they were able to stave him off. I think, if I'm understanding correctly. So that second guy was just seriously wounded, but he murdered that first woman and her husband in their homes, execution style. He's been caught. His wife was caught with, and he had No King's Rally pamphlets in his car. I guess the left is trying really hard to spin this as if he's not a leftist. That's baloney. Tim Walz is one of the most insane leftist people we have in the country. No way is that dude hiring anybody that's left of Mao into serious positions. And then you got No King's flyer banners in the car on top of that. No, this was left on left crime. It's just abundantly clear. That's a ridiculous thing that you're jumping through mental hoops to reach that conclusion. The cognitive dissonance on the left is insane, but it's necessary for them to go through. This will hopefully break some of them free of their shackles. They have to go through this first. So I have tolerance for it because I think that at least for some of them, there's better horizons on the other side of that bridge. Let's get through here. We probably missed this, guys. Let me check the map again. Not seeing a marker. Oh, there it is. Maybe we can just push time forward if we need to. So he got caught, and then his wife got caught in a car with passports and a weapon and ammunition. So
Yeah.
methinks there's interrogation coming that we're going to find out what these people know and who they're connected to. Oh, on that note, I don't remember who it was now, guys. I wish I could, because that's kind of important. But I do remember seeing something that there's somebody who got arrested for the left a little while ago, and that person has it was a U.S. aid person. He was in charge of something in Africa, and they proved that he was accepting bribes, and he lots of bribes, a number of bribes, and that he got a lot of family members, or maybe it was a she, I can't remember, jobs, and in return for bribes, and got caught and found out, pleaded guilty to it, was arrested and all. That person, because I can't remember if it's a he or she, that person is making a plea deal and turning evidence. So again, we're arresting smaller fry people and getting information on bigger fish through the plea deal process. This is kind of how it went down with the mafia also.
How do you do?
So just really exciting times, man. But that Democrat executing other Democrats, that was a jaw dropper. And I think it's just waking up a lot of people to who the left is. And they have that idea, I didn't leave the left left me. The left has never been what you thought it was, sir or ma'am. It's not a nice world. And what happens is that people have a compassionate heart, and they want to open up borders to people that are looking for a better way of life. That's how they see it. But whenever you just do that carte blanche and you let everybody in, that's like unlocking your door to your child's birthday party for the whole neighborhood to walk in and having no control over it. There are no victimless crimes. Whenever you give a free pass of understanding and compassion and forgiveness to somebody that you have not vetted at all, you yourself now have blood on your hands when that person goes and traffics a 7-year-old girl into a life of sexual slavery. That's on you. Some of you have done that. Look at this Abrego Garcia guy. Look how many people stood up for Abrego Garcia. He has now been extradited back to the United States to stand trial for what? Human smuggling. You a-holes are disgusting. And my biggest hope and prayer is that you wake up and realize the deep amount of just anti-human behavior that you've been locked into, and that you're able to escape that vector and get away from it. I would
Oh, Arthur, it's you.
welcome
Come
you
in.
open
Where's
arms.
what's his name?
Jean-Marc, he's a little histrionic. I'm worried that he's going to open his mouth and say things that aren't true to those vulgar Puritans at the newspaper. Well, perhaps true, but not the whole truth.
I'm not
Look
sure
at
vulgar and
these
Puritan
beautiful
goes in the
books.
same sentence together.
This is magnificent. We'll bring this city back to life if it kills me, and it probably shall.
Yes.
I have 2 copies of this book. This is an old field guide. Might be of some interest to you, maybe not. But please have it. It's worth quite a bit.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right.
Listen, Mr. Arthur, I'm sorry to ask this of you. You've done so much, but
But what?
Jean-Marc, I'm afraid he's going to open his mouth and say things.
How'd you mean?
Saying nasty things about the work that we have done together, for example.
Is that my business?
Oh, no.
He
no.
wants loose ends tied up.
Of course not. He also found out some unsettling news about you. It's all scurrilous lies, of course. But,
What sort of news?
oh, I do not talk about idle gossip. Please, I'm a public servant, and we are friends.
Where do I find him?
Well, he does live over on Rue de Zachary.
Rue de Zachary.
Thank you, Arthur.
See, these people are weasels. They're very, very slimy. And, Arthur's life is like the definition of a slippery slope, I think. Let's take that waypoint off. Okay, well, we're going to go to the Yellow X and we're going to deal with this, true believer. Right, we're halfway through the episode. Okay, so we've got plenty of time. Yeah, so that is my greatest hope, guys, that people who have been unwittingly made to enable the left hand of Satan. Is that a thing? That's the left hand of God. To enable Satan. And some of the worst crimes against humanity you could possibly imagine. I was in the military for 20 years. I went to Iraq twice. I went to other places before that. And I'm telling you, these people got more blood on their hands than I do. It's horrific what they've been pulled into, and not because they're bad people, but because they got duped. You know, so it is my greatest hope that they break free from that, and they don't have to join me. I'm not looking for everybody to become full-throated MAGA. Oh, there's homeboy. But just to stop aiding and abetting evil. And that Abrego Garcia thing is like the most recent example that people can look at, and it's still fresh in their mind. Look at how much people were pulling for that guy, Maryland father. Are you kidding me?
Why you want to go and say those awful things about me, buddy? Best not to make a big drama of things. Come on, let's go see your boss. This is gonna hurt, but it's for the best.
Oh my. This guy right here couldn't tell what time it was. Look, there's a cop right there. How is what we're doing okay with him? Yeah, this guy right here, his big mistake was reading the map wrong. Couldn't tell what people were up to. That guy is showing as a problem. So he just straight up didn't see us.
Okay there, boy?
So he needed to have left town already. He didn't realize that his boss was becoming leery of him, or that probably in all likelihood didn't realize that he was expedient. He probably thought he was serving a good guy that had all the right intentions and just a couple disagreements. Didn't realize he was serving a demon person. Looks like we gotta go this way. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. Maybe there's a time limit here. Retry checkpoint. Looks like we gotta find an alternative way back to the governor's mansion. I think that's the deal here. Might have to do it without a horse. I wonder if that's what they want. There's been a crime reported. Shoot. It doesn't want me to go that way. Okay, let's try and just do it without a horse and go through like backyards and stuff. Okay, so got the red border over to the right. Oh, this is the governor's mansion, isn't it? Okay. Well, that's why it was failing us. Okay, copper right there. Yeah. Says we gotta go that way. Okay, so it gives us the red border when there's a cop nearby, I guess. Shoot, I don't really see where I would sneak through a yard. Everything's gated off. Arthur can't really expend too much energy anymore. He breathes heavy a lot easier now. Okay, let's go ahead and get across the street. This is a big street. Good deal. Oh, really right up to the front door, huh? Not around back?
Quick, Mr. Arthur, bring him around the back. Oh, Jean-Marc, I've missed you. I've missed you. What silly man we have been.
Yeah, he had a fall. He might be a little woozy.
Oh, the poor boy. Jean-Marc, can you hear me?
Where am I? Lemieux? What have you done?
Oh, you had an accident, Jean-Marc. Thank the Lord, our friend was there to find you.
Really, I don't remember so well.
No, Jean-Marc. Here. My brother, Jean-Marc. Oh, we've been so... I promise to change.
I know.
What a silly misunderstanding. You see, the problem is principles will destroy us all.
Sure. As long as you two are friends again.
Yes, and you say you've changed, so we will run the city like men of honor, like you said.
Of course. We will strive to improve the city's moral backbone by any means available to us.
Within reason, yes.
Yes. Within my reason. Because I'm the mayor, Jean-Marc. And I will save you from yourself. Because it's better to get something done than nothing at all, like you said.
Utterly corrupted, Lemieux. You've not changed at all. I've been supplanted in your esteem by a wanted murderer. You shame me.
No, sir. You shame me with your vain naivete. Oh, how I long for the luxury to have principles such as you. But I must actually do things.
I see now. You're lost to reason.
Yeah, and I see now that you're a horrible little wretch and a sinner yourself. Your sin is deluded vanity. Now, sir, I am afraid that you must kill him. I will pay you handsomely. And Jean-Marc, I will miss you. I really shall.
Kill him.
It must be so. Please.
You're not really going to kill me, are you?
Thought I might.
But all I did was love too much.
Love?
My duty.
Yeah, but you're running your
I'll
mouth
leave you out
about
of
me,
it.
buddy. And him.
He'll betray you just like he's betrayed me. Lemieux is a foul rat. But I'm a man of my word. Let me live and I'll destroy him. And I'll make sure you're left well alone. Come on, please.
We're doing a good guy Arthur
You
playthrough.
want to shoot a sad little man, would you?
I might be a brute, but I'm not a paid killer. Get out of here. Don't mention me, boy.
I give you my word.
And I'd like to see how that plays out under a bad Arthur. I really was kind of waffling there. You know, Arthur's in a bad spot. This is... I mean, that was the right move, but it doesn't come without a ton of risk. Okay, well, at 40 minutes, guys, we're not going to get the Sadie mission. That'll have to be next episode. Uh-oh.
Okay, fella.
Real son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Hold it right there.
Well, it's only a $5 bounty so far. Cannot use a horse item while... Oh, okay. Yeah, we gotta slow down. Oh, there's a cop again. I didn't hit him, so that's good. Ooh, man, square in the back. That's a kill shot. IRL. Lungs are exploded. Okay, so we're gonna have to pay a bounty. Let's go ahead and set our marker for Emerald Station. Get our outfit back on. Oh, wrong one. Well, let's just roleplay that we changed clothes. That would be a smart move anyway. Oh, here, look, they're on our trail. They almost caught up to us. I'm glad I saw that. Got us away from it. Oh, and then on the positive side, guys, for news, you know, I talked about the struggles that we're having, but, you know, we had Flag Day, we had the Army's 250th birthday, and we had President Trump's birthday all in one day, and it was awesome. I know that the left wanted to paint this military parade like it was what China and North Korea and other authoritarian nations do. It wasn't anything like that. You didn't see ballistic missiles being paraded down. It wasn't a show of force so much as it was an honoring of the tapestry running throughout the history. Like, it was like the lore of the U.S. Army. They had displays on from every era, guys. It was really interesting. It was really well done. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was such a uniquely American approach to how we do things. You know, to me it felt very American. Did you see all of those brand new recruits get sworn in by the president himself? Those guys and gals, they're brand new. They don't have a compare and contrast. They don't know how special and unusual that is. And even if you're not a fan of the president, to be able to know in your mind that you were sworn in by a president of the United States is still it's unique. It stands out. Almost nobody gets that. You're part of a very small percentage of people. And I would imagine they got a coin out of it too, a special commemoration coin, which those are hard to get. You have like echelons of coins, and some are much harder to get than others. So it was just really, really neat. How they did all of that.
I'll be with you in just a moment.
Pay bounty.
Be a lot easier for you once you're all square. Hello. What do you need?
Thank you. You know, I'll tell you guys, if you want a nice little video that shows the state of the Democratic Party and how it's dying, go to Steve Turley's Rumble page and look at his video. I can't remember what the title is. Right now, it's the latest one up. But the way that it's titled, it makes you think it's about the arrest of Alex Padilla, the senator that got chucked out of the room where he was trying to force a question to Kristi Noem and got arrested in the hallway and like throw down on his face. But that's actually not what it's about. That's actually a very small part right up in the front of the video. It's a jumping off point. What the video is actually about is polling and the changing of American sentiment and all of the little different evidences that the Democrat Party is dying. They are dying. Increasingly irrelevant, increasingly rejected, increasingly looking insane and having to play to their most radical adherents because that's all they've got left. Or it's becoming that way very fast. That is a really good video. It's like, I think if I remember right, it's like 15 or 20 minutes long with a couple commercials in it that you can fast forward through if you want to shorten your viewing time. And each of those commercials, I think, is about a minute or a minute and a half. And so that'll give you a very nice little eagle's eye summary, 1,000-foot high overall general summary of the state of the Democrat Party. Now, he could be wrong. It's his opinion, right? This guy he's a PhD. His field is cultural anthropology. And so he tracks the sentiments of populations and how things are shifting in various populations and what they believe in. And he's been on the cutting edge of a few things. Two that come to mind real quick is that he was one of the first people to come out and predict that Donald Trump was going to beat Hillary Clinton in 2016. Now, if you don't recall, that was a huge, huge statement at the time that Turley made it, because the media was bought and paid for by Hillary, and it was just overwhelming. They had her at like a 97% chance to win. It was all propaganda, but that's what they were reporting. And so you couldn't hardly find anybody who felt like Trump even had a fighter's chance. But Turley had been reading signs in the culture and society for years and felt like this was a time that they were going to go with an outsider. We were going to go with an outsider. And so that was one. The other one was Russia-Ukraine. When Joe Biden put sanctions on Russia and talked about turning the ruble to rubble and all that, Turley was way ahead. I mean, we're talking day one. He came in and he spoke about how this was going to chase Russia into China's arms. He spoke about the Chinese credit card system known as BRICS. Not known as BRICS. It was known as something else. That it was bigger than Visa. The infrastructure was already there. It just didn't have people signed on to it. And then that this thing called BRICS, which is now an actual real legit thing that's competing directly with the dollar, was already in place to stand up with this alliance between these nations. So that's exactly what happened, and it caused a new coalition kind of like NATO as a coalition. It caused a new coalition. It destroyed the U.S. dollar. It really hurt the U.S. dollar as being the international currency. It totally jacked up our credit system, which is called SWIFT. It was an absolute catastrophic series of unfolding circumstances. I'm trying to think of the words to use there. And Turley knew about that day one. Day one. He was saying that it was propaganda, that Ukraine was super corrupt and was the laundromat of a lot of Western corruption, and that's why there was vested interest in it. And then what did we start seeing? We started seeing video games being used we were being told that was real footage of the Ghost of Kiev, who gained more kills in one day than any pilot has seen since World War II, or something to that effect. And there was no Ghost of Kiev. That was straight up video game footage from a game called Desert Combat Simulator, if I remember correctly. So Turley has an excellent track record of being able to read what's going on and what's BS.
Welcome back, Arthur.
And so I would point you towards that to get a snapshot of where he thinks the Democrat Party is and where I agree.
Good work, pal.
I really don't remember why I came here. Was I supposed to bring food in here? What's the camp look like? Oh, yeah, man. Look, we got 9 minutes. Let's go get some food.
Come on now, boy.
Nope. Nope. Okay. Gotta get outside of camp. Go, go, go.
Yep.
There we go. No, not yet. Doggone it. I want my weapons, man. Okay. Carbine repeater. This time we'll see if maybe we can catch a 3-star deer. I do think that the quality of meat affects the camp disposition. It's just that if I'm in a hurry, it's just important to get food. Quality is kind of secondary concern. But we'll see if we can find... Let's get off the road.
Easy. Whoa.
You are a 2-star. And you're a 2-star. Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, we got a river, some cliffs. Is there an easy way down into a valley or something? Legendary fish here. Oh my gosh. Man, I thought we were going to go over the edge there. I don't see any deer.
Yep.
Man, she's still dirty. Well, we just made the ride from Saint Denis. I said she again. It's a he. 2-star. There's maybe some slim pickings up here. There's a deer out there. Mangy deer. Yeah, this isn't like the greatest place. Okay, we're gonna run maybe a long episode. Because I don't think this is a very good hunting location. We're gonna come out here to the Emerald Ranch, get into the Heartland Overflow.
Yep.
So, I tell you guys, man, it's like we're living in halcyon days. I felt the same way in 2016. I'm going to enjoy these 4 years for as much as I can get out of it. That's what I said in 2016 too. And because some really, really good things are happening, and I felt like the same happened in 2016 to 2020. And this in spite of going up against a juggernaut of a deep state, where Trump has faced more internal resistance than any other president in my lifetime. And I know Reagan faced some, but nothing like this. Nothing like this. And the Bushes were globalist stooges. I didn't think that at the time, but I do now. So, and Trump got more done than a lot of previous presidents. And if you consider the leftist presidents, like Bill Clinton is considered to have been quite the achiever, right? But they have the whole machine working in their favor. And Trump is outstripping those guys. It's just really been great. And I have had a phrase that I think is just, the more we roll forward, the more it's proven true. I've had a phrase since at least the 2020 stolen election. It might be since before then. That the left picked a fight with the God they don't believe in, and they're finding out what that feels like. And it just looks to me like that's absolutely what's gone on. They have thrown everything in the kitchen sink, and it's not just failing for them, it's backfiring. It's like shooting yourself in the face when you meant to shoot your enemy. And to see that happen, that's a rare occurrence, to have that kind of a mess up. But to see that happen consistently on almost every major issue, where just give it some time and it'll eventually, whatever they think that they succeeded with will completely backfire on them and hurt their own cause. And that just seems to happen time and time again. I'm very appreciative to the Lord for what's been going on. This is what I voted for, and this is what I prayed for. And I know there's definitely people out there that feel differently. There's Christians who think that Trump is evil, you know? Well, I don't think you have a spirit of discernment. I hate to be that blunt, but that's what I think. I think this is so clear cut that if that's how you feel, I got questions, you know? Because that's really bad off the mark. They feel the same way about me. But I would say proof is stacking up in my favor and against them. How are you going to stand with the party that wants to kill a bunch of kids? Stand up for the party that's protecting human trafficking. The party that aligns with P. Diddy. So, I don't know. There you go. Blessed are the peacemakers. I don't want to say too much and just rile people up. I really don't. I don't mind riling people up, but I don't want to rile people up for the sake of riling people up, you know? I think that's kind of mean. Sometimes I do it, though. We do a little bit of trolling. I ain't perfect. I'm no saint. Okay, well, let's take a look at this deer right here. That's a buck. Can't quite lock onto him. And every time he flickers through my screen, I'm not looking down there, you know. 2-star buck. Okay, fine. Trying to find a 3-star.
Yep.
3-star anything, basically. I would like it to be a deer, because there's more meat.
Easy, easy.
Well, there's a 3-star. Okay, let's not use a carbine. Springfield should do it.
Slow up now.
Just at oh, up. Oh, he smells. Darn. Oh, look at that lead shot. That was nice, guys. I'm proud of that one. Are we down? Yeah. Are we downwind? Oh, we are downwind, actually. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. For some reason, I can't think of which way that goes. I'm not a hunter.
Yeah.
I don't know which one is blowing your scent into
Easy.
the animal. I thought... Actually, I thought downwind meant that your scent is being blown away, and upwind is that your scent is being blown to the animal. But maybe I'm backwards on that. No, I don't want to pick you up. Yes, I do, actually. Yes, I do. We'll just turn the whole body in. Stow. Alright, now we're going to kill a couple more, and we're just going to skin them and load up their furs and the meat that we get off of them. Also, a 3-star, and this one's a buck. Ooh, ooh. It's like he can sense it. That's another kill.
Yep.
I think the one I have on the horse is also a buck. Yeah, it is. It's a pronghorn. Skin it. This is all I'm doing, by the way, is I'm going to get one more pronghorn or deer or whatever. We're going to head back to camp, turn it all in. I'll talk about anything else that comes to mind and call it an episode. Next episode on Wednesday, we will be trying to do the yellow quest.
Easy there. Yep. Okay there.
Okay, well, we'll take it. Guess.
Yeah.
Good shots, man. Good stopping power.
Throw it up.
Now that's just a 1-star, but camp stew, you know.
You're all right, boy. Hold on.
Okay, let's head back to camp. Might be kind of cold. I think this is the winter outfit. No. Is it not working for me? 3 of 3, 1 of 3. Okay, that's a little bit warmer weather. 2 of 3. That's the one I'm looking for.
Yep.
What can I give my horse to fix
You okay, boy?
the stamina and health? Okay, food.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's a good marker of whenever I should feed. I can't believe I'm only just now reaching that conclusion. I tell you what, whenever you're recording videos, man, there's a lot that you miss whenever you're just playing a game by yourself. When you're playing by yourself, lots of stuff can occur to you. I suppose playing a game while you're recording is kind of like playing a game when all your friends are around you. You really just... Your attention's kind of divided, you know, on multiple things going on. And so you don't notice or have the quiet time to really think and dwell upon stuff or put 2 and 2 together nearly as fast. I sure hope we're able to stay out of this Israeli-Iranian conflict. I see a number of people that are kind of labeling this as World War III. I don't really think so. Not right now. It has the potential for World War III if we enter into the fray. That's where you start getting other partners to enter in, especially if there's treaties in play. That's what set World War I off. Right now, this is just a regional conflict and a pretty one-sided one, in my opinion. As of right now, I'm totally leaving room open for that to change. I don't know. I'm pro-Jewish. My religious background. I'm dispensationalist. I believe God has a special plan for Jews. But that doesn't mean I think that we should leap to Israel's defense every single time on every little thing. And it doesn't mean that I don't think that sometimes they try to manipulate things to get us to do that, you know, and stuff like that. I think those are all possibilities. I don't strongly adhere to those theories like some people do, but I don't take them off the table either. So I want to stay out of it. Just let it be between Iran and Israel. I think this thing wraps itself up quicker than one would expect. Look at Ukraine, Russia. Why has that lasted for as long as it has? Well, it's lasted that long because NATO refuses to let Ukraine die. There's been a lot of money, a lot of troops, and a lot of equipment poured into that. When Ukraine was actually ready to come to the table and into the war pretty soon after things began. But they were given a lifeline that kept them alive for a really long time. In this instance here, I guess if you were of such a persuasion, you could draw the direct parallel to Israel and say we shouldn't supply them either because we could repeat the same thing. I think it goes more towards Iran. I think Israel is the Russia in this case. They have the weapons, they have the expertise, they're the ones who have infiltrated the Iranian government. The Iran has the population problem that it's dealing with, the popularity problem, an unruly population, so that they have directly aided Israel in infiltrating that government. You know, so I don't think Israel is in the role of Ukraine in this situation. So I'm looking for this conflict to actually resolve itself relatively quickly if we will let it. And all we have to do is just honor our
Who's there?
alliance agreement, I guess, and
Dumbass.
Look who's back.
selling ammunition to Israel. I don't even think we got to make deals to put tanks or airplanes over there. We certainly don't have to give them anything for free. It's just normal stuff that's under already existing agreements. Nothing new. And that would be a huge difference from how Ukraine-Russia went down. So time will tell, but I'm hopeful that this thing will clear itself up pretty quickly. Now, there's a lot of reasons to think I'm being naively optimistic there, because in the Middle East, Arabs and Jews have been at each other's throats for millennia.
Oh, Mr. Morgan.
Well, okay, I
Got
acknowledge
down a
that
few
those things
I
are
think
going
would
to
be,
remain
nice
a
additions
problem,
around here.
right? But I just mean this specific clash. I'm thinking that Iran is going to run itself out of the capability to wage war, and Israel's going to sit behind the Iron Dome and be totally fine being able to run offensive operations with scant concern of blowback. I was supposed to donate.
Keep my eye out for some good materials. Could really use some good meat for this stew.
Here we go. I don't ever use this
Thank
stuff.
you.
I'm going to give them that too. I want to keep the big game meat, but you can have the other stuff.
All right. Let me see. Good job, Mr. Morgan.
Okay.
This camp could do with a few improvements. Why don't
We're
you
done.
Take a look at my ideas.
We're done with the satchel. Arthur's lodging needs an oxhide rug. I don't even know where to find oxhides. John is done. Camp tables are done. Chuck wagon done. Main campfire has nothing. And I don't have anything to donate. Okay. And I need a scout fire ground cover. What's that? 2 perfect goat hides. Okay.
I'll need some more materials before I can make... I reckon I need to get my hands on some materials first.
Well, I'm not planning on doing that anytime real soon. Maybe next week. Because we just got done taking some time on some of that stuff, and I'm wanting to push the story forward. So again, next episode we'll do the Yellow Quest with Sadie Andrews busting John out of prison. Let's go ahead and have Arthur eat. What will I eat this time? I had meat earlier. Let's do 2 cans of beans. And canned pineapples. Let's get a vegetable in there. It's a veggie diet, looks like. I don't have any veggies. Okay, well, let's eat a apple. I got 50 of those suckers. Okay. Vegetarian diet for Arthur there. And we've had as much as we can get for any effect. So we'll sleep until morning. Should have gone to handle camp provisions also. That puts us at just about an hour 15, so not too terribly over time, but a little bit. Let's shave. Not the mustache. There we go. Okay. And where's the camp ledger at? Is there a camp ledger? Perhaps there is not. I don't see any signs for it. I haven't seen Dutch in forever either, so That's a little bit
Arthur,
concerning.
have a seat. Glad you're here.
Oh, well, there he is. There's Dutch. Okay. Oh, things busted open. Huh. Wow. I don't know why I haven't come in here before. There's a whole network of caves back here. I guess we're not using them very much. Although there are fires lit. God, this is a base. Jewelry. Well, we're not the first ones here then. That would be their setup. Okay. Wonder what happened to these people. Okay, well, I didn't really see anything else of note. I'm actually just trying to exit the cave. Am I going up to another level, though? Oh, look at this. Oh, snap! What are you? That's a cow. Okay. Kind of a sickly looking cow at that. Where are we at on the map? Oh, we're a little ways away, man. Oh, okay. Pick the ginseng? I guess not. I'm not worried about it. Let's go on foot. See if we run into anything. Well, I can hear what sounds like a struggle over there. Somebody's horse down in the river. I hope we don't run into that gang. It'd be hard to run away on foot. This is us, I think. Yeah, there's Jack. Alrighty then, guys. Let's go ahead and save it. Underweight, but not red flagged as underweight. I guess that's probably significant. And fit, clean and calm. Okay, good. Go to story. Go to save. And overwrite Bright Bouncing Boy, which puts us still at 62.7%. All right, guys. Yeah, that was right. Got Ideals and Pragmatism for Beginners, Part 3. That's it, guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Again, I'm Aesop Grimm. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. More importantly, I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. And I'll see you in the next episode where we pick up that Sadie Adler quest to go bust John out of prison, where this story continues.